This dream was documented November 30th, 2020. And it says, I just woke up from a dream. I was visiting a college that I was considering enrolling in. The tour of the school was over, and we, the other potential students and myself, were waiting in the school's administration office for the final piece of the presentation. As we were waiting, I could hear the office admin workers discussing something that had just passed by or scrolled by on the news channel that was playing on the television adjacent to them. They weren't paying a whole lot of attention to it, but would glance at it every now and then. This thing that scrolled by had caught some of their attention, and they began to discuss it amongst themselves. One lady said something to the effect like, "Yeah, I don't like it either, but it's part of what we have to do now." I also faintly remember her saying something about the value of Christianity. I don't think any of the other potential students heard this conversation or paid much attention to it, but I did. The lady finally came in to give the last remarks of the presentation. She was holding a moringa branch with discolored leaves. The leaves were green, but the tips of them were yellow. I know from gardening that this happens when the plant is either dehydrated or deficient in some specific nutrient. The lady said that she needed to inform us that there has been a change made, and starting with the beginning of the new school year, this would represent our faith. We would need to buy into it and pledge our agreement to its terms. This didn't seem to shake anyone else, but I immediately said, "What? Hold on. I need you to rewind that, slow it down, and say that again for me. Because I don't think I understood that. I need you to break it down." She was holding a branch in one hand and a platter with other branches in the other hand. I grabbed one of the branches off the platter. In doing so, it caused the other branches to shift, revealing the decorated wooden crosses that were underneath the branches. She had walked around the campus taking these crosses down. They were elaborately decorated with paint and jewels and lace and all types of other flashy embellishments. I continued. "So you're saying that this branch is the new symbol of Christianity and it is replacing the cross?" "Yes," she answered, unbothered. "And you're saying in order to profess our faith, we have to buy these, thus showing that we've bought into and agree to be represented by this replacement of the cross?" "Yes," she replied. "And what happens if we don't want to agree to this or buy these? What if we don't want our faith to be represented by this symbol?" "Well, anyone not being represented by this will automatically be assumed to be a Satanist instead. You will automatically be labeled as a Satan worshiper," she said. I must mention at this point that this was a Christian college. I was speechless and couldn't believe what I was hearing. But as I began to look around, my peers had already begun purchasing their branches and accepting that the cross was to be replaced. But I had more questions. "So you're telling me that we only have two options. If we want to enroll in this school, buy these and be laughed at by the Satanists for taking the bait and being singled out, or buy into this other idea and be laughed at by the Satanists for being foolish?" "Sure, pretty much," she said. Finally, the presentation was over, and everyone began to disperse. I just remember saying quietly to myself that I wasn't choosing either option, and that I'd rather just continue educating from home. I don't know the actual significance of this dream, but it's very clear that it is hinting towards something coming in our near future during these end times. I pray that you would take this, what you've heard, to King Yah, the Most High, our Creator, and that you would ask Him for understanding. What does this mean? And what does it mean specifically for you? What should you do? How should you prepare? I encourage you to repent and know that the kingdom of heaven is at hand, which means it's here and now. It came when Messiah brought it back and redeemed us back to the kingdom of heaven. And so I encourage you to receive the culture of the kingdom, receive salvation through Messiah, and to repent before time is completely up. Shalom.